Hey guys, and welcome to Durability, your regular dose of lead therapy. And as you've noticed, there's nothing on my bench today. There's no gun to review. I'm not showing you how to do anything with a scope or anything like that. What I thought I'd do is I get a lot of people asking me about the equipment on my bench, what I use every day, and what I take to a tournament, and especially what's in that silver box I carry around with me. So what I thought I'd do would be I'd just have a nice little chat and take you through my stuff that's on the bench. And then after that, in another video, I think I'll do my wind flags and the stuff that I use that are not on my bench, which might be of interest to some people. But anyway, if you're a real boring geek and you like things in little boxes, this is definitely going to be the airability for you. So come on, let's have a look at that. My pile of rubbish. So my coffee's in the way. Please. Got to mention the coffee. Bacon butty's coming in a minute, so I should be grand. So this is evidently a classic Japanese toolbox, and this design's been around since the 40s. It's really nice. My daughter bought me this. It's got sentimental value. I take it everywhere. And I think it's going to be one of them things. If it ever breaks, it'll be repaired and repaired and repaired because of who bought me it and how I how it makes me feel when I get it out. You know what I mean? So that's nice. So the stickers on it as well are things that I've picked up as I've gone along. Anybody who doesn't know, that's the County Durham flag of County Durham. Land of Dreams. You know what I mean? The hand shuts. On the back here, I've got my Guns and Bacon sticker. If you can see that, it's pretty hard. Got that H&N sticker's had some hammer, hasn't it? That's been around a bit. And so anyway, there we go. Classic toolbox. And we open it up and I'll show you what's in it. So on the lid here, I've taken a little bit of stuff out because there's some stuff I have to be able to keep secret, but I velcro things to the top of the lid here, which comes in handy. The first of my levels, always need a level. You never know when you need to be on the level, so I've got a level. This is my clock here, so I can set it in the countdown mode there for the 20 minutes that we would shoot and start it off. There, it's got a silent mode because you can't make any noise on the range when you're in competition. You'll be disqualified. So that's something you need to bear in mind. Right, onto the contents of the tin. First of all, got my Apple tag. Everything I own is Apple tag. To see if I've left things behind and also somebody runs off with it. And we'll go from left to right on the contents. So each of these little test tubes here, that's got my probe in for marking my targets. And then other test tubes will have things like the two torque bits that I need for my main scope there, so I don't have to look for them. In between here is the first of my Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knives in the box. I have an obsession with Swiss Army knives. They're everywhere. Other interesting things in these tubes: pins. Always need a pin for getting seals off if you get stuck. I've got, various other screwdriver heads and things like that in there. That drill bit, if you can tell me why I've got that drill bit in that test tube there, answers on a postcard, I haven't got a clue, but I haven't got rid of it because I know it's there for a reason. At the back here, this thing here, it's a little cone, it's for putting seals on the hand shuts. Where you screw the cylinder on, there's a probe that goes into the cylinder and a little green seal. They are absolute pains to fit. So this little bit of plastic makes life an awful lot easier. So I won't go through all of them, but they've all got various things like that in them. And here, cleaning pellets for after you've done a relay at a competition. I always run a couple through. So moving across here, the second of my Swiss Army knives that are in this box here. This is a more multifunctional one. Always carry a little bit of silicone grease, comes in handy for various stuff. Got a key here. This is a key for my gun case, is a spare one. Always have a pen. This is one of those spacey pens that you can write on any surface with. Comes in handy. You always need to fill something out at the tournament. Now, why do I carry a torch? And I'll show you why. Can I do it here? Yeah. So when you're at tournaments, you're undercover, and some days it's quite dark and you want to level your rifle up. So I turn my little torch on and I shine it in the side of my spirit level on my gun there. And so I can, can you see? So it becomes more clear. I've also, as I keep telling you, I've got sight problems. So it comes in handy. Oh, there you go. Lovely little torch. It's rechargeable. I don't think I've ever recharged it. I've used it, but I think that might be the third time I've used it. Right, so here, yeah, oh dear me, we've got the unicorn tires. Yes, it's, vast majority is Napier pellet lube, but I do add another oil in it to thin it down because I find Napier's a bit thick. And no, you're not going to get the recipe to the magic pellet lube. So there you go. I've told my wife that I will die without recipe. I always carry a tin of pre-sized made up pellets ready to shoot. Obviously the H&N. Right, let's have a look here. Various safety flags, best safety flags in the world. Orange cable ties, they just work flat out every time. There's no value if you lose them or not. These are littered all over my equipment boxes, so I'm never without a safety flag at the tournament. Now, one thing that you mentioned, why have I got a spanner head here, a torque spanner head? This is the most popular size for mounts that have those nuts on the side. It's mainly there for other people if they need help, or when I'm doing reviews, so I've got quick access to it. But sometimes the scopes come with pre-installed mounts on them, and yeah. So let's get into the slots here. So standard little screwdriver, you put your bits in the end. No bother. I think that was a couple of quid, Amazon. A seal pick. Can we see that seal pick? This one is a composite one, so it doesn't scratch the metal. You've got to be very careful when you're using pins to take seals off with, because if you damage the surface and the seal goes on, you could have a potential leak. Am I boring you yet? I hope so, because I'm trying. Right. Then, the most essential thing for a airgun shooter in the world ever, other than a gun and ammo, is a torque screwdriver. Get your mounts put on at the right torque. Don't smash things. Don't over tighten things. Don't be a hero. So there you go. So we'll just we'll leave them up. Right. Then stuck in the top here, there are lots of little Allen keys that I use for various things like the trigger adjustment on my hand shuts. Oh, another spirit level. I'm always on the level. And what we got in here. Right. Yeah, this is my Allen key holder. So these are the sizes of Allen keys that I would use for getting my stocks on and off and things like that. So, they're just the main ones I've used. I don't carry a full set. This is a very special Allen key, the old style Anschutz 9015 regulator. This is the exact fit that you can hook it into the action, and because you come in from underneath and hook it in, so you can access it and adjust the regulator. The other side here, marker pen. Don't know why I have a marker pen there. I think it's more for writing parcels out of. A spanner. I've got one of these, fancy lens cleaner things with the carbon powder in. Comes in handy. Another pen. I'm into pens, lens cleaners. Now, this is a very interesting thing. Oh, it's a Swiss Army knife thing. So if you look here, it's for sharpening Swiss Army knives, but I've used this for everything to round the edges of bolts so they'll go in easy. You know, field repairs, stuff like that. It's coming more handy than I ever thought. So here I have two tin bum pellet sizes. Yes, it's tin bum, tin, TINBUM, tuning. Best pellet sizes there are. I've got loads of these. I've even got some spares here. So they're what I use on the tour. Always have some lens wipes in. Now here is what I use to move my pellets. It's a aluminium box. Friend of mine made it. It's one of the dearest to my heart that I have in this box. I love it. It's irreplaceable, and you just flip it over like that, and it's got the lid off a it's got the foam out of the lid of a tin of pellets in with a little bit of the pellet lube on. So when you're lubing your pellets, guys, remember, more is less. We don't want them swimming. We just want a lightest of glazing of lube on them off the foam. Because remember, if you fill that back of the pellet up full of pellet lube, it's gonna adjust how it shoots and the weight distribution of things. Earphones, basically these are when I'm sat next to Tom Jacobs, he goes on and on and on and on, you know what I mean? And at one point he did have a particularly loud rifle, and it's also when I'm at the club shoot next to people with rimfire. So always have a set of earplugs in. It even came in handy once because next to a range I was shooting, he had a motorbike scrambling event. And yeah, that was absolutely crazy that day, and they came in handy. This is a one of those things for taking off the tops of scopes and adjusting scopes. 10 a penny. One thing I did forget, I do tuck a pretty dangerous or not. I do tuck a Stanley, like a modeling knife blade away inside my tin, because you never know when you're going to need the sharpest of knives. Now, what's this at the end here? This is the final thing really in my tin. This is a just a normal sunshade for the Falkland scopes, but I 3D printed an end, and I've added a diopter on the end here for really sunny days to help me cope with sun that's coming right down the lens. We had an event last year where when I won the national UK championships last year, I nearly came off the rails because the sun was coming straight down the end of the scope. So basically, I put this together, invented this to stop that happening in the future. It's also come in handy. I can store my pull through for my. Can you see that's my pull through and some rags for my barrel. I do a bit of a clean every now and then there's a cleaning cloth here for the lenses on my scope. So really, that's about it, and I've done that in kind of 11 minutes, haven't I? So that's not bad. A bit more I was wittering on beforehand. So this is my back bag, and it took me a long time to find a back bag that was low enough for me because I'm small. This ended up being an edgeware bag. It got it imported from America. This is going to be controversial, but I've printed 3D backpacks before. My friend Tommy makes them, but for me, this back bag, I haven't found anything that's better. It's got the weight, you can nestle a rifle in, it's got the flexibility. You can top the sand up when you use it, things get a bit slack. There's you've got to ask yourself, I think, why do people use leather backpacks, and why have they used them since the dawn of time when it comes to Benchrest? And that pretty much is because they work. So I use the bag backwards. It just suits me. Most people have it the other way, I think. I don't know, but that's the way I use it. Got a little airability sticker on. I love it. Like I say, it's years old now, and it's still going strong. On the underneath, I use this silicon matting here. This is the stuff that you'll put under a mixing bowl if you're an old person or had a disability to stop it slipping. It's available on eBay. It's magic, you know, when you you can feel the weight of it there. When you put it down, look, it's pushing me back in my wheelchair and I've got the brakes off rather than there you go. I've had to take the brakes off to come back. So that bag really is you know, one of my favorite things, and I really love it. Quick story about it. We were in Cornwall last year at the worst rain I've ever had in an event. I mean, it was biblical. It was weird. It was the worst weather, but one of the best events we've had. And by accident, I left this under a leaking roof on the range, and it got absolutely soaking, and the sand in it set like concrete. It must have been about twice the weight. So I was expected to be a mouldy mess. But we dried it out and it's been fine and it's carried on regardless. So there's a good thing. So there you go. Let's just have one final look at my back bag. There you go. Nothing special. Just a standard Benchrest back bag. Oh, and what's that got for? Do you know what? You'll never know. Let's have a look at my front rest. Here we are with my front rest. Few little things that, first of all, you'll know it's really low because I'm low. The base was made by a friend of mine, Dave Hopkins. It's a standard Seb mini top on a customized low base, that basically probably only fit me. But you know, it's won 2 national championships and been #1 for the last 4 years, so it's clearly working. Now, Seb himself, very nice gentleman. I needed a different handle for my rest. He sent me one free of charge. Good fella. Comes in handy. Thank you, Mr. Seb. And here I've added this little handle on the end, so when I'm adjusting it, it just makes things a bit easier for me. Also, I put the butt of the handle on the ground here, so it just gives it a bit extra stability when you're at the shot. This piece here is a Boy Racer gear stick handle off Amazon. I think they're about £7. I rolled out it onto the end of the what's the rod, and then here is just a big long bolt going through with a golf club handle on it, as you can see there. Right. So what else is special about this? Nothing really. So the front bag, the rules are kind of changed with the front bags. So the front bags just have to be made out of something pliable. So as you can see, that's pliable. Look, it's squishy. It's got flex in it. This is what's called TPU. This is a 3D printed front bag that I've made. The only stipulation now in the rules is that it has to be covered where the rifle makes contact. So I've used seatbelt material here. So the rifle doesn't actually touch the TPU, it touches the nylon webbing or the cover or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of shooters are adopting this process at the moment. So there you go. If I turn it around, just give you a little look. We have the OG Airability logo. So yeah, that's what it used to look like, you know. Just out of interest, the Airability Facebook group and YouTube channel is 5 years old this week, and it's been a journey, and I absolutely loved every minute of it. Yeah, orange Union Jack sticker. I've got an obsession with orange and shooting, so probably need to address that with some sort of like psychological counselling. Well, are you asleep yet? Well, I hope not, and I hope it was of interest to some people. You know, some of the stuff is of sentimental value that I carry around with me. 99% of it is of use to me or others when I'm on the tour to help people, and I hope you found it interesting. And as I said before, I'm going to have a look at my wind flags and stuff like that in a later video. Until next time, guys, whether you've got a silver box full of absolute rubbish or not, Get out there and live that airgun dream. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Wherever you are.